Insights with Terri Coots, a weekly look through the eyes of predictive astrologer Terri Coots. Here's Terri.
Hi everyone, this is Terri, and you're listening to Insights with Terri Coots. Thanks for joining me to explore together the week of May the 10th through the 17th, 2026. What have we got ahead of us? We're still in a fair amount of Taurus energy, that strong, stable, strong-minded energy of the bull, grounded, earthy, determined. So if you have something that you really want to get done but be determined about, or even if it's a project that might be a little bit tenuous, or you're not sure if you're up for the task, so to speak, you can pull on the energy of the bull to help you stay the course, so to speak. Very stupid example, I used it for cutting the grass today. I know it's going to rain in the next few days, for a few days, and I had to get that thick grass cut and no other types of opportunities. My lawnmower wouldn't work. I am not mechanical, and pulled on the energy of the bull, and inch by inch I got it done. Really and truly, if you know the circumstances, if I had the time to share it with you, it was just this side of a miracle. So it was about not giving up. It was about trying to be realistic, but moving forward. It was about looking at options. What options do I have? It's about remaining calm. I know it's just lawn, but it's about remaining calm and keeping your brain working as much as possible. And then pulling on that energy of grounded, earth, logical, stable energy field. Determined, not stubborn. Stubborn is different than determined. So we still have that for us. Now on the 18th, because Taurus is also in Mercury, which is how we think and how we communicate, on the 18th, that Mercury energy from Taurus will turn into Gemini, which is very, a lot of good ability to think, to communicate, to process. So that will be an energy field that would really serve us to find people that you enjoy conversation with, be able to exchange ideas that you may not agree with, and that you can remain open to not swallowing it whole, but allow for a discussion. And when I say allow for your mind to be able to be turned, if it makes sense, if it serves a purpose, is it something that should be at least looked at, not necessarily swallowed whole without chewing. And then Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and attraction, is in Gemini, which that's the planet, that's the zodiac sign that wants us again to communicate, pairing with what's coming in Mercury, processing. So that energy field really does well when we have group think tanks. Not sure what kind of group think tanks are ahead of us, but even if you have friends that have maybe differing opinions or even the same opinions, but we learn more when we're around people that don't completely agree with us or feel safe enough to tell us that they don't agree with this, or this is what I'm observing that might not be comfortable, but say it anyway. So it's a real great platform to build from, to be able to look at yourself and say, how can I make myself better? So I'm sure my daughter won't mind me sharing this because she's never going to know. I don't have to tell her. I gave her a project. I gave her some homework. We talk once a week. She's in British Columbia, and we challenge each other. I don't mean in a bad way. So I said to her, honey, if you were, she's happily married, by the way, if you were just dating and somebody said, describe yourself to me, and you wanted to be honest, you wanted to be honest in that interaction, I said, how would you describe yourself to me? Well, she was floored. She said, I don't know. That's a big question. I said, it is a very big question. And she said, I don't know. So I said, okay, you've got the next week to think about it. So she's going to think about it, and then I will be able to tell, and she challenges me like this too. I will be able then to agree or disagree or add another option to her observations of herself. So it's kind of self-exploring. What brought that on is that I had an interaction with somebody last week that was very eye-opening in what they suggested to me, and they expected a person that would receive that kind of information to just fly off the handle, but they complimented on me on being able to hear it, let them finish, and give it some substance and review it, and then get back to them and have a discussion about it. I didn't take it personally. I took it as an opportunity to learn and grow. So that's what's being offered to us in this next week, and maybe even longer, actually. Are you able to hear something that maybe you're not comfortable hearing? Because the universe, if you're open, will offer this to you. And we don't have to swallow things hook, line, and sinker. Just being open to it, chew it up, and see if it's digestible, see if there's merit to it, and is there something in that that could teach me about me or the situation or the relationship, and let me grow and learn from it without being arrogant, without being threatened, without getting angry. So this is what's being offered to us. Now, what we have to be careful of here is that Mars, the planet of war, is in still Aries, which is ruled by Mars, which is the planet of war. It's a red planet. So we have a little bit of a short fuse there. So we want to be careful how we word things, and are we on safe ground. So you wouldn't do this with an unsafe person. And that's also going to help you understand yourself. Are you a safe person? Can you have a conversation with somebody that could, when I say constructive criticism, I don't know if I like that explanation, because a lot of people use that as, they'll call it constructive criticism while they're tearing somebody down. So, it's not in that vein that the universe is looking at that for us. Now, the beginning of the week, there's a very strong Pisces energy in the moon, which allows for instinct. It allows for the feeling of it, allows for us to read between the lines and feel more. So, like an empath would have this. You could say that to an empath that you have a headache, and right away they'd feel your headache. So if your situation comes up in the beginning of the week, trust your instincts, trust your feelings. Talking to an officer yesterday, it was just a straight traffic pull over, but he just had a feeling that something was wrong. Everything was good. Everybody handled themselves well, everybody was polite, but it's just a feeling something was off. And he asked me, have you ever felt that? Oh yeah. I will go into the vet and say, something's wrong. Well, is the dog eating? Yes. Is the dog pooping? Yes. Is the dog peeing? Yes. Is the dog engaged? Yes. So what's wrong? I can't put my finger on it, but something's off. And then sure enough, it manifests itself, but I think it's not there necessarily to make us lose our mind about it, but it's there to trigger more of an alertness, and willing to observe, to be neutral and see what I'm seeing here. So that instinct is going to be given to you. About the middle of the week, just really watch for short temper. We could be at risk for a short fuse with the energy the way it's heading. So just if you tend to have a short fuse, or you're one of those people that when you argue, you just say whatever you want to say and then say I'm sorry later. Just be careful if that's your characteristic. Even though you say you're sorry, some things cannot be taken back. Even though they're forgiven, they can never be forgotten. So be careful of that energy. And then the last part of the week, we could get in a place where we just get stubborn, and we don't want to, we just almost could cut our nose off to spite our face. So just be careful. Just be aware of that type of behavior and say, am I in that? Am I doing that? Now, vulnerable body parts, the first part of the week could be our feet, our toes, and with that instinctive or psychic energy field, the pineal gland. So just keep an eye on those body parts in case they need attention. Possible headaches towards the middle of the week if you are prone to migraines or sinus or anything like that. Something could be triggering it more so towards the beginning or the middle of the week. And then when we go towards the end of the week, around the weekend, if you tend towards a stuffed neck or neck soreness, your vocal cords, if you tend to get laryngitis or anything, you could be more vulnerable. So if there's anything, or thyroid, if there's anything that you do to take care of yourself, it might not hurt you to do it proactively. Now, some of the cards that came up were major. Every time I talk to you guys, it's major cards that come up. So that just tells me that the universe is taking us seriously, which makes me feel good. Some of the situations that they're offering us for lessons and understanding, when I say they're serious, if you're going to negotiate with somebody, you want them to be a serious person, not a clown. So what they're saying is there's consequences that are coming for the human race, for the globe, for every living being on the earth. So you know that saying, well, maybe you're all too young. What goes up must come down. I think Newton had that saying. I don't know really and truly, I'm just teasing. So this is an energy field that we can feel maybe hard done by or put off by. And we may feel that things are taking a turn for the worse, or bad luck is happening. Setbacks can pop up and they're unexpected. And so we feel like we're being subjected to a negative twist of fate. But maybe if we look at it closer, what it really is what went up is coming down. So weather changes, right? We're saying, oh, poor me. Well, yes, poor me. But what did we do to contribute possibly to some of these mudslides when we take all the timber off the hillside? What did we contribute to homes sinking in the marsh area where they put some sand in there, built some homes and can't figure out why they're failing? How can we say poor me when we've maybe let legislators allow for faulty wiring in certain appliances and we let it go by, and then we wonder why the house burnt down? It's that kind of an energy field where there will be a little bit more taken to task maybe in the next little bit. It doesn't have to be just next week. So what we want to do is we want to look at this could get worse before it gets better, and look at what did I do possibly to deserve this or to encourage this circumstance. And am I out of rhythm with the world, with my family, with myself? And is this really a fickle finger of fate? Wow, I said that. Woohoo! Or am I partly a partner in this, allowing it? And then we look at how can I divest myself of maybe some of this energy, which then leads to the next major card, which is brand new beginnings. It's the Fool. It's brand new, first step. So they're offering us brand new start, like a reset. You know, when your satellite dish isn't working and you pull all the plugs and you start all over again. That's what this is. So hopefully we don't have to pull our plugs, but it's an energy field that is signaling the beginning of many of us, a beginning journey, a brand new phase, cycle of our life. And that's really and truly for many of us a leap into the unknown. And that's what they're trying to prepare us for, a fresh start. It can get tough, you know, darkest before dawn. It can scare us, but it really is looking like it's a new chance. And It supports transition. We'll feel upside down, but it supports this transformational type of energy. And then that leans into a force, literally a force that is mentally driven. So it's a mind force, an energy that's in our mind. How determined are we? May the force be with you in that movie. What is that, Star Wars? So may the force be with you. So this is saying that they are offering us an energy field that allows for our strong mind, our strong will to overcome what we consider circumstances that cannot be overcome and do it anyway. So those are my minor miracles that I have happen all the time. The lawnmower today was a case in point. Never should I have finished that. Not a snowball's chance in hell yet. It happened. I sat there, I asked for it, I pictured it, I willed it, and it happened. Not as beautifully as I wanted, but I was tickled that it did. So that's a sense of power. I got off that lawnmower, other than creaky hips and bad knees, with a sense of power. And it will also lend you strength when things are difficult. I think they call that strength in adversity. So it's a force. It's going to be at your disposal. The energy field that is around this is the element of air, which is everywhere. It's the power of the intellect. It will give you freedom when you can plug into that. It's predetermined by determination. It's predicted by that. And it's a mental energy. And it's courage. So it'll give you fresh ideas. It may give you the power of words. And just bear in mind, something good emerges from these very difficult circumstances. And it's the beginning of a successful energy field that you will have in your life. But we have to be able to see it. So it's not going to be in a week, but it's just like your garden, right? You have to start weeding and then raking and hoeing and planting and buying and all of that. There's a lot to be done before any of that happens. So on that note, I'm going to stop beating you guys to death. And I do want to thank you for listening, and just enjoy your week that comes. Have open arms to enfold and invite all these wonderful circumstances that are coming at us. Open eyes to see them. And grateful, like I am to Charlie, who puts all this up on all of the platforms. So Charlie is the man. And he has, again, that big 8 radio. That's big, the number 8 radio with all the oldies, the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s. So it's big8radio.com. That'll calm you down. And if you need a reading for yourself, or you need help with your animals in any way that I can help, don't be afraid to email terri.coutts@gmail.com, or you can text or call 519-726-6699. And pretty soon it's going to stop raining, and we're going to get all those dogs out in the field, and we'll have 43 acres to go out there and play with our dogs. And we'll get a group together that wants to play games and get their dogs tuned up a bit. Alrighty? Thanks again, everybody, for listening and giving me your time. Have a wonderful week. Do the best you can with it. And don't be afraid to email me and tell me what you experienced, or text me and give me some feedback. I appreciate that. Alrighty. Love to all of you. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Insights with Terri Coots. Visit Terri's website at terriworld.com. TERRI world.com.